Hiya folks, how's it going? I'm Lexi and I really like tabletop games. So much so that we review one here together once a week, every week here on the gaming table. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to subscribe and keep watching. Perhaps I can even help you find your next game. Today I am taking a look at a game that was really kindly sent to me. I always really appreciate it when the creators can send me physical copies. It just really helps me to get these reviews out. And I get to hear about games and game creators that I might not have heard of before. I do always try to give my honest thoughts and a fair review. I just really appreciate that people trust me to do so. If you've made a game and you want to see it on the gaming table, you can reach out to me using the details I've popped in the description box below. This week we are reviewing a game that is both an expansion to a game I reviewed before and also its own standalone game. If that intrigues you, you should definitely keep watching. From Backroads Tabletop, this is Backroads. I said this game is both an expansion and a standalone game in its own right. Don't worry if that sounds confusing, I'll explain that right now. This game is set in the same world as a game previously published by this game company. This game was Backwater. A while back I reviewed this game and a lot has changed about my format since then, but I really enjoyed reviewing Backwater, so I was super excited when I was reached out to review Backroads. Backwater is a post-apocalyptic game that is set in New Orleans. This game takes place in the same world but a little bit north, around the remains of the city we know as St. Louis. The settlement that is around there now is known as Meacham, and occasionally brave souls from there travel into the ruined city. While this game is technically an expansion to the world of Backwater, they've also included the rule set to play this game in the manual itself. I really appreciate this. This decision and the setting in general does remind me a little bit spiritually of the Fallout video games. They're not nuclear warfare themed, and the time period that this post-apocalyptic setting takes after is more the 19th century than the 20th century, but in terms of having this post-apocalyptic setting that happens to mirror a period of history and releasing expansions that are standalone experiences set in different parts of the world is where I see the similarity. Backroads itself has a lot going on setting-wise. There's different political and religious factions. You get a write-up of NPCs, the different groups that live in different areas of Meacham, their daily lives, and even some secrets that are going around. Perhaps just for the game master's eyes only. Meacham is the center of some spiritual strife and, of course, a great dose of corruption. It's an extremely rich setting, and I really love the different districts that they give these write-ups to. I wish I had more time to talk about those for a whole video. Backroads uses a system that we were first introduced to in Backwater. It's a D20 based system. Players roll a D20, apply an appropriate modifier, and hope they can achieve what they wanted with that roll. To start building a character in this game, you need to choose an archetype. This game has 4 to choose from. There's the Sparklock archetype, who has an uncanny knack for technology, both new and old. We have the Spelunker archetype, thrill-seeking explorers. They're not afraid to venture into the abandoned city, particularly if there are riches awaiting them. Spiritualists are non-sectarian religious types. They can administer first aid as well as funerary rites, but they may get caught up in the inter-religious conflicts. Lastly, there's your Steadfast, your good old-fashioned muscle. Each character archetype gets an option to access various different skills in their builds, which I really like. I happen to be a big fan of games with big lists of lots of different skills. While this game does include some of my favorite mechanics from Backwater, they also have included some suggested mechanics to play this game as a hex crawl. You also get some new equipment options and animal companions companions and rules on how to run and use them. They also have a rat rodent companion in this game, which of course immediately makes it the best game ever in my opinion. Overall, I like this game's D20 system. It's pretty streamlined. You also get in this game an adventure to go along with this setting. I had a read through it, but honestly I don't want to share a lot of my thoughts or really review it, because I want that to be kind of a surprise for when you get the book. I actually really respect Backroads Tabletop's decision to publish the game's rule set with this expansion. Generally, the model that is suggested is you don't include a way to access the rule set in a game's expansion, because then people have to go buy the original rule set to play the game. By choosing to publish the system with Backroads, it means that people can choose which of the 2 books that is out currently. There are more coming, I hear, so you should definitely keep an eye out. By making it so that people can choose between which book they want to purchase, they're allowing people to have access to this game without having to pay money to just use the rule set from one book and the setting from another. If you're like me and you really love the world that is coming out of these games, you're going to be eagerly awaiting the next one. I am very pleased with this installment from the Backroads Tabletop library. This game has brought new exciting elements to the world and the mechanics we already knew, and has chosen to make it so you don't have to purchase 2 books to enjoy one. The world and the characters are incredibly compelling, and the monster illustrations in this game are absolutely fantastic. They draw from American folklore. The rules to this game are pretty light and accessible, and I found the manual not difficult to understand. For the fans of the American-gothic, I think this game is going to be a home run. I love that for installments of this game, we are visiting different locations. You could potentially have a campaign one day that travels across what is left of North America. Currently, as of filming, the best way to get your hands on a copy of this book is through itch.io for a digital copy at $21.99 US. I am hoping we're going to get a print-on-demand option, and I'm very excited at the hints of more installments to come. Backroads is a pretty exciting game. I do have a soft spot for the Gothic genre and its many subgenres, and I definitely think that influenced my enjoyment of this game. I am also really looking forward to potential future installments and other locations we might get to visit. If you were to pick a place in North America for a Backroads Tabletop supplement for this world, where would you pick and why? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think I've always been a fan of the state of Massachusetts, so maybe something around there could be interesting. While you're in the comments, feel free to also like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications so YouTube tells you when I've next uploaded. And you could even share this video with a friend. It actually all really helps. The more eyes and more engagement a video gets, the more YouTube thinks it is worth sharing around. I also have a Ko-Fi page where you can donate to help maintain this channel, but engaging and enjoying this video is a huge help in and of itself. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!